This is really great. This is awesome. This is the first number of Panellogy.
And it's exciting because it's very visually stimulating. If it's not visually stimulating, I'm not buying into it.
The 1970s were certainly a time for experimentation in comic books. One of the stranger titles that did have legs, or in this case arms, is Plop.
And then we've got Möbius again with Arzak, which is like a masterpiece that starts here in Panellogy number 1. Then we've got Philippe Druillet again with his epic fantasy, science fiction, Lovecraftian nonsense, really. But it's one of my favorite artists.
But here, I'll just, if Blue Lock is a series that I've been into for the last few years. And again, you know, I just randomly went to that page, but look at that. Where are you seeing this kind of engagement in terms of visual, like stopping you dead in your tracks?
Sincerely, one of the best manga reads that I've had in terms of my whole manga journey. And the reason why is, I'll just give a little flick through of what it looks like. So number one, it is a book that is in color. The entirety of the book is in color. Number two, the artwork on the front and back is amazing. So you're thinking of this and you're looking at this cover and you're thinking, okay, this for sure fits under the umbrella of Wandering Amongst Chaos. But what is the premise of this book? So the main premise is that we follow a kid by the name of Enchan, who's this little boy here, and we essentially go through a very psychedelic journey as he is transported back in time and his imagination runs rampant and runs wild, and essentially he is creating and destroying things, everything in his path. So he's kind of like playing God, but it's just full on chaos.
The Centre Pompidou did an exhibition on comics, and they did it over this period of 64 to 24. And you can see we've got some Winsor McCay Little Nemo pages to start with, but then you also get into Claire Bretéché from France doing a 1976 piece, a little more Winsor McCay, some Fred, some Philemon, and then talking about trying to go from a strip-based environment to a book-based environment. And then it goes on and on. You've got some Chris Ware here.
The Detour, published in 1973 in Pilote magazine. Known for being the gateway story that officially marked that fork in the road which splits his two artistic personas. The one of Jean Giraud, which he kept when working on Blueberry, as mentioned before, and the one of Möbius, exploring more personal and experimental artistic directions. Which is crucial as it marks, in my opinion, Möbius' true birth. It is a story which anticipates many of the themes that have made Möbius the master he is today.
Ils sortent ça par album, et donc on va tourner un petit peu les pages vite fait. Et donc là on est au Crabe aux pinces d'or et vous avez le contexte, voilà, un peuple à lunettes, donc ça vous explique c'est dans la revue française, la source, la revue française Vue.
diversamente. Lo stile effettivamente diventa a un certo punto un'ossessione dell'autore. Quando l'autore sta cercando la propria voce, lo stile coincide con questa voce. È un modo di guardare le cose. Come rappresenti un'automobile, una donna, un cane, un uomo, un ambiente, come rappresenti il movimento, come rappresenti i pensieri, l'introspezione, devi trovare uno stile per farlo.
This is some great action, great soccer action, choreography, staging. You know, if I can talk about the great staging of Sal Buscema, John Buscema, Neil Adams, all the greats, then I'm going to tell you about Blue Lock here.
I love this epic style of drawing, the black and white. It's beautiful. Dionne, again, about science fiction novels, and Richard Corbin in space with beautiful popping colors. Yeah, I love that everything is science fiction in these early metal hurlants.
Traditionally, collage is defined as an artistic composition made of various materials and media adhered to a substrate or surface. And of course, collage has been a method in fine art for over a century. Kirby's first foray into this comic book art experiment is a half-page panel in Fantastic Four number 29 in 1964, eventually arriving at Fantastic Four number 51. Here, Kirby creates a masterpiece. He uses cutouts from various periodicals and photographs and illustrates on top of the collage to create something wholly new in comics, both artistically and narratively: the negative zone. Comics collage at its best. In a 1987 interview with filmmaker Ken Viola, eventually published in the 1995 issue number 7 of the Jack Kirby Collector, Kirby says of his collage work, "It added an extra dimension to comics."
So it's extremely funny. All the stuff that happens is just absolutely hysterical stuff. Everything that goes on is gross and funny. Like that. This is actually one of the best parts. I just flipped to that page randomly. They're like, oh man, third possum today, and they have to pick up this roadkill, and their boss is always cruising by and checking up on them, and these other guys from their village and these guys from the service department, they're always fucking with them. They come by and insult them right here. He chucks the possum at their truck. The guy driving it gas and ducks. Hits the other guy in the face. Or no, the passenger ducks and hits the guy who's driving. Oh, that's great. And then it causes him to hit a hit a mailbox, and then he throws it back. I was not expecting to show that part of this comic. It's not all like animal cruelty, folks. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about that. But, you know, there's just anything you could imagine. So the thing about this comic is it is hilarious, but it's also real.
I have a shelf. I have shelves, but in my bedroom, we have a bookshelf, and I have a manga section. Just as I have a manga section in my studio here, it's all the way across there, and there are 3, I don't want to say, let's call them stacks of manga from the floor up on the other side of the spinner rack over there on the floor. Up in my other kind of studio room, as kids move out, I take over the rooms in the house. There's even more manga, and then there are the boxes and the boxes and the boxes of manga that are in the garage.
Next time you're out and about and you come across a copy, pick it up for a laugh or for a groan.